Oh, gefeliciteerd. Oh, wacht. Ik zit midden in een podcast. Ik ga heel even wat tegen hem zeggen. Sorry, wacht. I'm sorry, my friend is calling me that she had her baby.
Oh, take the call, take the call. Hi, welcome to Meet the Makers, a video series where I put questions to creators from around the world about their videography and photography businesses, mainly in the wedding industry. But first, I want to share with you a short video about a workshop for videographers and photographers that I have coming up later in the year. If you'd like to learn more about the workshop, there's more information in the description below. In today's episode, I'll be talking to Claire from Blond and Blauw Films, a Netherlands-based videography company. Claire shoots all over and has a natural yet cinematic style to her work, and uses very minimal equipment to achieve this. Let's dive straight in with question 1. Hi Claire, thanks for joining me on today's episode. I'm going to go straight in with question 1. How did you start filming? How did you get into videography in general?
Well, I did an internship when I was at school in 2014. And there I started filming for this company. I had the internship. So that's where it kind of started. And I mostly filmed like for schools or hospitals or like the boring stuff. When I started over there, I had no experience with filming or editing, so it was a lot for me to take in. But well, I really liked it from the start. So yeah, they let me film everything and they let me edit everything.
And how did that move into weddings? How did you start shooting weddings, you know?
Well, a friend of mine already made wedding films. And a friend of her was getting married and she didn't want to film over there. So she asked me if I wanted to film. So I did. And she did the edit, but I wanted to edit one myself. So I made an extra edit. And then I thought like, that's kind of cool. We can create something more out of the box, not like the typical classic wedding film of 3 hours long or whatever. So it kind of caught my attention. I thought, maybe that's something I would like to do as well.
And then, how long ago was that?
I think that one was in 2015.
And you straight away just started up your business and got going with weddings, or?
Yeah, because at the company where I did my internship, they asked me to work over there, and I had to be like, how do you call it?
Self-employed.
Yeah, thank you. So,
okay.
So I had to already be self-employed.
Yep.
And I had to have several clients because in the Netherlands, when you're self-employed, you need to have more than 3 clients you work for.
Oh, okay.
I did work for the one company and then I did the wedding. So I thought, maybe I have to do that on the side. And when I started, there weren't a whole lot of people that made wedding films. So in the first year, I already had like 11 weddings.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's good for your first year.
I thought so, yeah. So then I was self-employed. And I liked it a lot more than the work I did for the company, so I actually stopped straight away.
Okay. And did it start off quite local, or were you straight away going on?
No, it was all very local, and I had like a niche with a lot of Christian people.
Okay.
But that wasn't really my perfect client because I'm not religious or something, so I couldn't really relate. But that was, it was all very local and yeah.
And then how many do you do now? How many weddings do you shoot now?
Well, in normal times I have somewhere between 20 and 30.
Okay.
But
Nice.
I wanted to like scale it down because it's too much.
How would you describe your style, and how did you settle on like the style of films that you make now?
Ooh, that's a tough question. But I think I would like to describe my style as cinematic, but also very real. So it's not all too I really don't like to tell people what to do the entire day.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
But
Sure.
I think most of the wedding videographers are like that. But yeah, it's their day with a little extra. So beautiful, beautiful scenery and everything. But it also has to really feel like a film that belongs to them. So yeah, cinematic, real cinematic. I don't know. Yeah.
And was that something that developed like as you went along? Did you sort of work out how you wanted to do it as you went, or was it from day one you knew like how you wanted to shoot?
No, I think it was more like along the way that you develop a style. Or I think when I started, I had like the romantic white filter. You know what I mean? Like the very dreamy. Well, I don't use it anymore, so yeah. And it's also more like really telling a story, and not just a registration of the day. So really paying attention to the vows and the speeches and like everything that's happening around me. And when I just started, it was like, oh, I have to have the moment when they say yes, and I have to putting on the rings and all that stuff. Yeah.
You've got more confident knowing what you do and don't need, sort of thing. Yeah. And do you shoot on your own mainly? Is it mainly just you?
I shoot everything on my own. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I see you shoot like elopements and small weddings and things like that. So what's your gear setup? What do you take with you to a wedding?
Well, yeah, I shoot with a Sony a7S II. Recently did an update to the Sony a7S III, but I haven't got a chance to use it yet. So, but I have two buddies, just one for backup. And then I work with Sigma art lenses.
Okay.
Like I have a 35mm 24 and 85.
Okay.
But I mostly use a 35. And then I have like a Sennheiser microphone. I think 3 of them.
Like, do you take any like gimbal things, or is it all just monopods and stuff?
No monopods. I do everything by hand.
So you shoot the ceremony handheld?
Yeah, unless they want when they want the full ceremony filmed. I do have like a tripod with me, but
so it's quite minimal. Do you shoot the ceremony with one camera, or do you set up the second camera for that? Or?
Kind of depends what they want. But when they don't want the full ceremony, it's just me.
No, so it's very minimal.
Yeah.
So you can keep everything like in a backpack or whatever.
Yeah, and
cool.
I like to keep it like small, because then people really don't notice me being there, and that's the most important thing to me. And sometimes I see like the beautiful footage of people that are using gimbals, and I'm like, oh, maybe I should do it. And I tried, but I hated it.
It depends what sort of weddings you do, but if you do a lot of overseas and stuff, it's just another thing you've got to like pack in your bag and all
Yeah,
that
well, maybe when you're with the two of you, then you can use a gimbal, because the other one will take the other shots, and you can just make like the shiny, ooh.
What about software? What do you edit on? Do you have like a favorite editing software you use?
Well, I've always edited with Premiere Pro.
Okay.
I tried to use DaVinci, but then all the shortcuts were somewhere else, and I was like frustrated, so I went back to Premiere right away.
Okay.
What do you edit with?
I use Final Cut, but I always used Final Cut, like Final Cut 7 and then up to Final Cut 10. But I think you just get used to what you use, don't you? It's not for any particular reason, it's just what I've always used. And it's hard to start learning a whole new system if you're used to it, whatever.
It's just, especially when you're busy, you just want to finish the films.
What is your favourite part of the job? What's your favourite part of doing weddings? Is it the people, or is it the editing, or is it the filming, or is it, you know, what's the thing you like the most?
I think I like the editing the most. That's
Okay.
where the story becomes one. And I really like looking for the right music and getting all the bits and pieces together. And I think that's the most fulfilling.
Yeah. Okay.
But of course, when you can travel for a wedding or whatever, that's like, I still can't believe that people ask me or pay me to come over to wherever they want.
Where's the best place you've shot, do you think? Your favourite place, anyway?
I think Iceland.
Such a beautiful country. Point your camera in any direction, it looks great, doesn't it?
You can't go wrong in Iceland. No, I just, but it was an elopement, so it's a bit different, of course.
Yeah.
We were on a 5-day trip together with the photographer, so we just became like a group of friends that was just traveling, and that was very cool. That was a crazy experience. Yeah, I do like the intimate weddings more, because also you feel a lot more part of their day. And when it's like a big wedding, you're just like staff. I don't know.
Yeah. And when you say like you had 5 days with them, do you still condense that down to quite a short film? Is it just giving you a lot more to work with, or did you do something more with that, with an elopement film?
Well, no, I made a film for them of 7 minutes.
Yeah. And you say the music's important. Is music like a big thing to you? Is that like a big part of the job to you, choosing the music?
Yeah, because when I just started, people were asking me if they can pick their own music, and I think that was the first thing I told people, like, no, you can't pick out the music, because I don't want to edit 40 times on Ed Sheeran. And
yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. So where do you get your music from?
I use MusicBed.
Yeah,
I really love
Nice.
what they have on their website. So, and sometimes I'm like losing myself for 3 hours looking for the perfect song. And I also use like 4 or 5 different songs in one wedding film.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. So is it to change the sort of tone of the film?
Yeah.
What would you say the sort of music you use is, like energy wise and everything? Where do you think you sit?
Well, the most the search words I use most is ambient and electronic.
Okay.
And hip hop. I also use a lot of hip hop.
Hip hop. Okay. I'd like to see that.
Well, it's not only hip hop, but like it has like the hip hop beat. Yeah.
Yeah, next question, maybe a slightly tougher one than your favourite part is, are you willing to reveal like the biggest mistake you've made at a wedding? Something where you think that was a big mistake.
Yeah, but how long can this show take?
That's your main thing, just making a mistake.
Yeah, it's my unique selling point. No. Well, the first wedding I did, then I still filmed with a Canon, and I had like 1 battery.
So you only took 1 battery with you?
Thought it would be enough.
So how far did you get? Where did you have to stop?
Well, after the ceremony, so I was lucky. But then they were having a photo shoot, and the photographer really helped me. We're still friends, but he distracted the couple, so I was able to recharge for a little while, and so I could come up with a photo shoot. I could join them, and then after the photo shoot was a dinner, so then I like charged my battery.
Nice. Okay.
After that, I bought 4 batteries, so it was okay.
Think that's your biggest mistake?
I filmed a wedding of friends of mine, and it was all so beautiful, and they had like the most beautiful setting and everything, and the ceremony started, and the guy who did like the audio for the ceremony, he had like this mixer, so I can plug in and everything would be great. Everything they would say through the microphone, I would pick up. So they had like the most beautiful vows ever, and I was so excited. I was already like editing the film in my head. Oh, this is going to be perfect, especially his part. And he was like crying so bad. And then I always well, after the ceremony, I always listen to the audio if I did it right. I'm always very like, how do you say it? Anxious that it didn't work.
Yeah, sure.
I was listening to the vows of him, and then I heard Josh Groban singing so loud, so the technical guy forgot to put down the music in the mixer.
Yeah.
And I didn't have the vows. So, but fortunately, the couple was they were friends of mine. So after the wedding, like a week after the wedding, I called her and I say, okay, something bad has happened. I don't have the vows of your husband. And she said, okay, come over, we can record it again.
But yeah, that makes me paranoid about audio. So I normally have nowadays I normally try and have 2 or 3 different ways.
I forgot that. That's the mistake I made. I forgot to have a backup, so it was I didn't have anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've one. Maybe they won't hear it. I filmed a wedding in Marrakesh, and it was a 3-day wedding, and I had all the footage. All the footage on my SD cards, and when I was home, I wanted to upload it to my iMac. And I put in the SD card, nothing. All the footage was gone.
How did that happen? Do you know?
I don't know. And then I remembered, a friend of mine worked at the recovery for Lexar or SanDisk, I don't know. And he helped me get back the footage. It was just maybe the slot in my iMac just.
Okay. Can read it. God, but it just makes you feel so sick. In that moment,
Yeah.
I could die.
It's made me look into you can get these hard drives that you can plug your SD cards in, when you're traveling and download the footage and stuff. Because I'm so paranoid about just getting it back home or whatever. If you're flying and stuff like that. Who or what has most influenced your work or your style? It doesn't have to be in weddings, it could be a film or something. What do you think most influences you in your work?
Well, I think music, actually.
Okay.
And also music videos. I am I always was addicted to MTV when they did play music videos. And now we have this channel in the Netherlands that I watch all the time because there are music videos on it. And so I think that's where most of my inspiration comes from.
Okay. And what is it about them? Is it because they're telling a story in a short period of time, or
maybe because music does a little bit more to me than film does?
Okay.
It really draws my attention when I hear a great song or a great beat, and then I'm looking and cool. I don't know, when I listen to music, I already envision a video clip. That's how my brain works, apparently. So, I don't know. I think it's mainly because of the music and the things I hear. And that's when I start editing, I always first listen to the audio, to the vows or the speeches, and then I search for the music. And I make an edit with the music and the vows, and then I start editing the footage.
So you've already got that track, you know how it's going to play.
Well, of course, I can add a few seconds of that part of the music and stretch it up. Yeah. So it doesn't have to be but.
Are you thinking about the music when you're filming? Are you thinking this wedding's going to have this sort of track, I need to shoot it this way, or is it very much something you do afterwards?
No, it really depends on how their day was. So I have to see that first. But when I'm on the wedding, I can think, maybe we should do a slow song or more up tempo. That's something I have in mind already.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is the main thing that you want to improve upon this year? Is there something about your work you want to improve? I always have something I'm trying to sort of tweak every year. What would you say that is for you?
Yeah, I think I would like to pay a little more attention to my surroundings, because I'm always in my camera and I'm looking at the world through my camera, and maybe I have to look up sometimes to see what's happening around me.
Okay.
I always press record when I think something is going to happen, because I don't want to lose the moment or anything. But that means I have like a shitload of footage.
Okay.
Maybe I have to be a little bit more picky when I press record.
Some people literally just shoot exactly what they know they're going to need, and I just have a tendency all day to just think, well, I might as well just film everything that's happening. But actually,
I also think they really miss out on spontaneous moments.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
It's also, you can't really lose that.
You don't want to get into a situation where you're just filming every wedding exactly the same because you're going after these exact shots. You know, you don't know what you're going to need, so. Okay, final question is, what is your top tip for someone who's maybe getting into videography? If they were starting today, you know, what would you say is the main tip you'd give them from your years of experience?
I think it's important to try and figure out what really suits you in terms of a couple or the kind of wedding you're shooting. And of course, when you're like doing this for a couple of years, it's more easy to kind of pick and choose. And when you just start, you also will have to do some weddings that are maybe not really for you or whatever, but try and figure out what suits you, because I think then you can make the best films. Yeah, when you don't really feel the people that you're filming for, or then you'll see it when you edit the film.
Yeah.
So,
because you said when you started you were doing maybe the sort of weddings that didn't suit your style. What did you do to move away to the sort of stuff you wanted to do? Was it showing certain work on your website, or was it just turning down work? What was it you did to get those jobs?
Well, it's kind of interesting and logical that it happens, because when I started, most of the weddings I did took place in a castle.
Okay.
And when you show people that you filmed the wedding in a castle, people that are getting married in a castle think, oh, that's what I want. So, and when I just started, I did a lot of style shoots, but I was quite picky with it because I really wanted to do only style shoots that really fit me. And I really started posting that.
Okay, that's a good point. Don't just take anything.
Yeah, and create a style shoot yourself of something that you really, really like. If you want to do a bohemian wedding, create something and show it to people.
No, that's really great. That's a really great tip.
Yeah, I think for people that are just starting doing wedding films, or like seeing all other wedding videographers doing these epic wedding films, or I think sometimes people forget that you're filming a wedding for the people that you're filming the wedding for. And I think that is something to really keep in mind. Of course, it's cool to have the money shot or whatever, but that's not the most important. And I think before all of this happened, a lot of people were focused on the beauty and more of the exterior, I think. And it's just, I think you have to really pay attention to what suits the couple, and to keep that in mind.
No, I think that's a really good tip for someone starting out. If people want to find you and look at these films you've made, especially the ones with the hip hop in, where would they look for you? Where do they go? Where's the best place to find you? Is it website or Instagram?
Instagram, I think. Yeah.
And what's your Instagram?
Blond and Blauw Films.
And what's the story behind the name of your company?
Oh yeah, well in English it's blonde and blue, because of my blonde hair and my blue eyes. I didn't want to use my name because I thought it was a bit lame. Sorry for everyone that does it, but I don't really have a cool name. So I wanted to have something personal, and it became Blond and Blauw.
What's your surname?
Van Dam.
That's a cool name, though. To people outside the Netherlands, that's a cool name.
Yeah, but for me, it really sounds like a plumbing company or something. It's just.
All right. Well, thanks so much for that, Claire, and giving your advice and tips and stuff like that. It's really, really good. And good luck with the next year of weddings. You can find links to Claire's work in the description below, as well as more information about my upcoming workshop. See you in the next episode.